Good morning and welcome to our Friday show on the mark, and it's our normal Friday show where we're going to go through the card. I'm very happy to announce that I've got my good friend here, Akash Aucharuz, with us. Akash, remember the last time you were with us, we managed to find a nice winner, Captain Spanish Seller. I remember you telling us that you were off to Macau. You're back in Mauritius. You were saying earlier that you hurt your back. What actually happened?
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I was a bit unlucky in Macau. My first meeting back, and I think the host did a wrong move and I slipped, so I hurt my back and I was 2 months off. Then I decided to come back. It was a bit of a family matters as well, so I'm back now, yeah.
Okay, well, you haven't done too badly. I see from your 23 rides, you've already had 3 winners this season, so it's been all right. I mean, obviously, as a jockey, that's why we just want to ride winners. And I see you've got a couple of nice rides tomorrow, so hopefully you add to that tally.
Yes, correct, Mark. So let's hope we keep it going.
Okay, great. Well, let's start off with the first race. It's a 1850 025. Never easy to find winners in these 025s. Actually, I got a little bit of a value bet here. I really like the look of number 1, Green Street Tractor. I fancied him last time, but I see they put the tongue tie on him last time. Obviously, he never enjoyed it because his penultimate run behind Cyber Special, if I'm not mistaken, Overdose ran second on that particular day. He came out and won a very good race on Saturday over 31 and over the 1850. I think if Green Street Tractor sort of reproduces a run like that, he could quite easily beat this field. It's not the strongest of fields, and I think Green Street Tractor, a little bit of a value bet. I think the last time I looked, he was around about 5-1, so keep that in mind. Alhamd, first time he went over 1850 last time. He managed to run a good second to Napoli. He was hopelessly last. He flew in the straight. If he reproduces that with 55 on his back and then spun out, well, he managed to get it together last time. Manuel Nunes riding on top of his game. So that will probably be my trifecta, 1, 10 and 9. Akash, I don't know if you've had a look at this race. Like I said, never easy, these 025s. So I'm saying, Velu, you haven't ridden anything in this race that you could tell us about. No, you haven't. So at the end of the day, tough race, first race, what do you like?
Yes, correct, Mark. You know, these 020, 025 races, it's always hard to find a winner. Yeah. And if you look carefully, I think from the start of the season, there's no fancy horses or favorite horses has been won.
That's right.
So you're probably correct on number 1 here, Green Street Tractor. Maybe it's his day tomorrow. I liked a bit Beer Hug, which he's also not a bad performance in this kind of class. He's run in 31 before. Yeah. So I kind of like number 1 Green Street Tractor, Beer Hug, and Alhamd.
Yeah, I also like a little bit of Alhamd. You know, in South Africa, 7 runs, 6 places, yet to win here. But maybe they found the trick with him over the 1850. He really ran on nicely behind Napoli, so he will definitely be in my trifecta. All right, that is race 1. We're going to move over to race 2, where Akash, you have got well, in my opinion, probably your best ride on the day. That's my opinion. Yes. This horse, I said to Shahil first time out, I think he's going to need his first run. He ran actually a little bit better than I expected. He got beat just under length by Cyber Special in the 1500. In my opinion, the 1650 is going to suit him a lot better. Have you managed to throw your leg over him this week?
Yeah, I've ridden him on Thursday and today actually, trot him. And he was okay. He was beautiful. Cannot complain. I think, like you just mentioned, he was needed that first run, and he should improve from there. Mark, he's drawn good. I think 1650 will be better than 15 for him. So he should run a very good race here. Yeah,
he's got some very impressive South African form as well. They thought he was good enough to run in the Daily News, although I think they probably used him as a pacemaker from a bad draw. But Al Sakra, in my opinion, like Akash says, he's made that sort of natural improvement. That's a good form line behind Cyber Special. In fact, a lot of Cyber Special's form has been standing up here in Mauritius. So Al Sakra, like Akash says, he's got the draw, and he's really looking well. I thought on Tuesday he looked magnificent, and I'm going to make him my first choice. Akash, in your opinion, what's your biggest danger? What you worried about?
I think Mr. Hardy is a horse to beat, because last time he had 62 kilo on his back, and this time 59. He is a horse he can run in the 36 class, so I think Mr. Hardy is the one to beat.
Yeah, I personally like the look of number 6, Power Tower. That barrier trial with the blinkers on Tuesday was very impressive, and for me, he's a candidate for blinkers. I think the blinkers are definitely going to improve him. Unfortunately, he's got a wide draw to overcome, but it is a 1650. He's got at least, about 300, 400 meters before that first turn. Pierre Stratum's a master at sort of placing horses, and I think he's going to be your biggest danger, Akash. So just keep an eye on Pierre Stratum. Keep that left elbow out, because he probably will be on your outside. Consul of War, well, that was a good debut. I thought he won a good race. He's also made some natural improvements, so he'll be my third choice. So I'm going to go 2 Old Sakra, 6 Power Tower, 3 Consul of War. If you were a gambling man or a betting exotic player man, well, how would you structure your straight line trifecta?
Well, I would put Mr. Hardy behind Al Sakra and Consul of War.
Okay, great. Well, we're more or less on the same page there. Right, let's move over to race 3. It's a 1400 meter benchmark 46, and once again I got a little bit of a value. Well, not a little bit, he's quite a nice price. I had a look this morning. He's currently at 1,000 rupees, which is 9 to 1. That's number 7, Itatrot Trail. Don't know exactly how to pronounce that 100% correctly, but I thought he needed his first run. Another horse that has improved dramatically in training. You just got to go back to his South African form. I think he's run against a lot stronger. He's run behind Al Yassat. He's run behind Cirillo, Twist of Fate. We all saw what Twist of Fate did in the July last week, and this horse only got beat 2 lengths by Dollar Tractor. I like this horse. I'm definitely going to put him in all my exotics. I'm not making a banker by any stretch of the imagination, because I really like the way that Vasco Street Tractor ran on last time. In fact, he was one of my 2 to follows on our Jeu de Gallo. But Iditra Trail at 10 to 1, I'm definitely going to have a little bet on him. Vasco Street Tractor, we saw how well he ran on beautifully last time. He's drawn 1, and I see they've slapped the blinkers on him as well, and I'm going to make those 2. Like I said, I think the key is with the 3-year-olds. But Akash, you got a decent ride here as well, Boya, but he's proven a little bit difficult to ride. He's got a little bit of a habit of pulling. I don't know if you've got a game plan there.
Yeah, like we were talking earlier, he pulls and then he dropped a bit where he shouldn't at the 600, and then
seems like he's still learning how to race.
Yeah, he's still learning. I think I've worked him. I quite liked him. He seems to be much settled now. So he's thrown okay for me. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully he doesn't pull. He just switched off nicely and then he ran on,
Yeah, well, obviously with that emergency acceptor coming out, you're going to be jumping from gate 6.
From 6,
you've obviously
not bad, yeah.
Yeah, you've obviously got a plan in your head. Let's hope it goes well for you, because I really rate this horse Afdik, and I actually thought that Afdik would beat Boya last time, but that was a cracking run. I thought Afdik just had too many guns for Boya at the end. You can't fault his form. He's had the 3 runs, 2 wins and a second, so he must have a big chance as well. But obviously those 2 3-year-olds coming up, you'll have to keep an eye on them.
Definitely, yes.
And then one other horse I want to talk about is Texas Sky. He is stepping up 2 divisions from a 36 to a 46, but he looks quite useful, does Texas Sky.
Yeah, done nothing wrong so far. He's been running really good, It was a very gutsy win last time, so he's definitely in with a chance too, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to stick to my value bet, number 7, Iditrot Trail, to beat Vasco Street Tractor, and then I like Boya as well. I think Akash, if he manages to settle him, you can't ignore his good form. All right, well, that's it. Let's move over to race 4. It is a 1600 meter benchmark 51, and I don't know, this was Springman. I've been following this for a while. I don't know, I've been showing you his training. He is one of my, it was Shahil's horse to follow, Springman. Akash, have a look at that race. I think I mentioned to you earlier on when he ran 4th to Rainbow Bridge. We've seen what Rainbow Bridge has done back in South Africa.
Correct, Mark. He's got a very strong form from up there,
Yeah, you have to ask yourself, if Rainbow Bridge was running in this race,
we wouldn't think about any other horse.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. So Springman, I just think that Ricky sort of got him so well prepared now. He's given him 3 runs under the belt. He knows what it's all about. There was a good run last time with Pravesh Haril. I tell you what, if it was at 1850, I would sell I don't have a house, but I'd sell something and put it on him, because I would make him an absolute banker
yes.
if it was at 1850. But I think he might just get away with it in the 1600.
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy Vision, well, he finished in front of him last time, but you would imagine now that he's drawn 9. The fact that Springman's sort of just getting better and better with every run, I'm going to put him down as my second choice. And then Redline Captain, you've ridden this horse, Akash. He's a horse that you can't ignore.
No, definitely not. He's a decent horse. He's a good trier. He's a strong one pacer. Yeah. He'll be there. He drawn 2, so we cannot ignore him.
Yeah, he's one of those horses that when you put your money now down, you know that you're going to have a run for your money. He always tries his hardest. Redline Captain, those Captain Owls, so they've got such big guts and heart, and I suppose you can't ignore him. Remember that he did run in a 61 last time behind Al Shiba, and he drops down to a 51. So Redline Captain you can't ignore. But I'm going to stick with Springman. Crazy Vision, Redline Captain, that would be my trifecta. Akash, I don't know if you're joining me or if
I'm joining you, Mark, because this is the right way. I guess Springman behind Crazy Vision and then Redline Captain.
Okay, great. There we go. We got a straight line trifecta if you want to take that on, well, tomorrow afternoon. Right, and then it is the fifth race. It is the third and final leg of this 3L Championship. It's been a very exciting 3L Championship. I really think it's a good initiative by the MTC, these 3L and 4L Championships. It really, even, it's a bit unfortunate we're getting the smaller fields, but it is a nice sort of a championship to follow. Viking Trail, he was my choice last time. He beat Rule the Night. I thought he was very lucky to beat Rule the Night because I don't know if you watch that race. Akash,
I did, Mark. Yeah, I watched the race.
When Manuel Nunes almost, I mean, he was lucky not to fall that day.
Yeah, he was very lucky. Yeah,
and Rule the Night still managed to, he still managed to run second. But Viking Trail probably lucky to win that day, but it's at the end of the day, it was still a cracking run. He's drawn 2. I think the extra 200 meters is going to suit him down to the ground. He's been working very, very well, this horse, Viking Trail. I'm going to say that if I'm not mistaken, I think if he wins this, he will be crowned champion 3L. So obviously there's no Rule the Night in the race. Viking Trail, I'm pretty confident he's going to pull this off. Do you agree with me, Akash?
100%, Mark. The way he ran, even he was, well, we said he was a bit lucky last time, but still a win. Yeah. He's going to improve from that.
I mean, it was a great run.
It was a very great run, yeah. So I'm with you 100%. I think it will be very hard to beat him with a draw too, 55.5 kilos. So.
Yeah. What do you think is his biggest danger?
Well, Good Buddy is a horse who ran behind Rule the Night, and he's an improved horse. He win after that. So also with the lightweight, I will probably say Good Buddy, but I liked a little bit on the distance-wise. Ovation Award,
yes,
who haven't done bad. It's a classy horse.
Yeah,
so he's probably one of my selection as well here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Good Buddy is just one of those horses that just sort of keeps on impressing me.
Correct.
Every time I think it's going to be like a harder task for him. But
and then he just come and improve.
I mean, his last win was very good win. He sort of was battling out the 400. I thought he was gone, but when he came in the straight, he just quickened up beautifully. Manuel Nunes, the super sub, picks up these rides from these outside stables and he brings them home. So keep that in mind. And then I agree with you. I suppose it would have been a tough decision, Ovation Award, Sinatla for Naresh Jagal.
I agree, yes.
The one thing I didn't like about Sinatla is that, if I'm not mistaken, is he still a colt? No, I think he's gelded. I don't. Someone told me he was a colt. I don't know if that's right or not. But I remember seeing him first time. He was on his back legs in the parade ring. He was really misbehaving, but it wasn't a bad run. 5 lengths behind Bad Attitude. He's drawn 1. If you look at his South African form, another horse, he's run second to Twist of Fate.
Correct. Yes.
And so. Must have been a tough choice for Naresh between 1 and 2. Yeah.
Definitely. Probably Sinat, I think it's a more classy horses.
Yeah.
But we have to look, Ovation Award had a very tough race last time.
Yeah.
He's definitely a horse who have class also here. I think they bought him for the Maiden Cup or something.
Yes,
so it's definitely will.
Yeah, they're both these 3Ls from the Reset stable look like they got a very bright future. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Viking Trail, I think he's probably more sort of.
Have the advantage of the race probably.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll stick with Viking Trail. Good Buddy, close between 1 and 2 for that third place.
I agree.
All right, let's move over to the 6th race. It is the Lightning Cup, and throughout the years, this has always been a very, very exciting race. Akash, I see you riding the Thinker. He's drawn 156.5. Nice work on Tuesday. I thought he worked pretty well, and obviously, I mean, he's probably not well suited to the 990, but he's a sort of horse that always puts in a good performance.
Yeah, he's not bad. His form is not bad, but definitely the distance is a question mark. You know, Mark. He's won, I think, 1,000 meters in South Africa, but probably with the age, he will like more distance. You know, and 1,000 meters is a bit too short for him. Yeah. But he's drawn 1, but we'll see how it goes. He worked well on Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, it's quite strange because he like you said, he's a 5-time winner in South Africa, 4 wins over 1,000, once over 1160. So, but like you say, as horses get older, they sort of lose that sort of speed and they
looks for a bit more ground.
Yeah, I mean his best runs here have been over the 1400.
Also, it's our track here. We've got. I think there is probably one down the straight. If I'm not, wrong.
100%. He's
so
probably
we've got
one
a
of the
short straight here, so he's probably looking for distance here.
Okay, well, let's talk about the contenders for the 6th race. Obviously, this horse, Rule the Night, has been so impressive. Another horse, just like Good Buddy, just keeps on impressing me. I thought last time, thrown in the deep end, drawn 8, and he won like
tough for him, but
and he beat Overshadow. We saw what Overshadow did last week, so that form line's pretty strong. He's only going to carry 54.5. Remember that has been declared a kilo over, so he's got the 54.5. He is drawn 7. I don't think that's a problem for him in a 990 because he's been coming off the pace. Do you think the 3-year-old's good enough to beat the older horses?
Yes, Mark. I'm very confident on Rule the Night. Like I was mentioning to you about the record, he broke the record. He's a new record now. And with 54.5 kilo, Ramsamy know him very well. He's won 3 out of 3 on him. Surely I think he's going 4 out of 4.
Yeah, interesting you mentioned that record. I've gone and had a look, and when he broke the record, he carried 61 kilos.
Yeah, and it was easy win. He stopped riding him at the end of the race. So, and it was a very, very gutsy win. So
yeah, well, he's obviously a very, very good horse, and the stallion VAR. As you know, those VARs, they sprint like anything, and he's, like I said, he's been quite convincing, even stepping up to the 1400. So Rule the Night with that lightweight, I'm probably going to make him the first choice. Last year's winner, Nottinghamshire, he's got the 61 kilos, but he's another horse that runs with absolute heart, never ever puts in a bad performance. I mean, obviously, if you have to ignore last year's, I think it was the Princess Margaret, where he sort of chased early on. I think he went hopelessly too fast, but then you can't fault his form after that. And Nottinghamshire, he must be a big runner. He loves the 990. He's got the 61 kilos. That's the only worry for me. Pierre Stradum in the irons, he must be a big runner. And then I'll tell you what also I do like is Black Cat Back. I don't know if you've worked him because you've been riding a couple of horses there, but Black Cat Back, very impressive win, and then there was a great run in the Barbie Cup as well. Obviously, he's coming down in distance. That's obviously the biggest worry. But if you go back to South Africa, he won. He ran in a couple of feature races over sprint. So Black Cat Back, I respect him as well.
Yeah, correct. I agree with you, Mark. He won, and then they tried to race him again for the Barbie Cup, and he ran a very good race. Gutsy third. And then I probably think it's a bit too quick for him to race again. I think he had only 1 week off, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it is.
But as we've spoken in that race, we like Rule the Night. I like a bit number 4, Wolverine, who've done nothing wrong up to now.
Yeah.
He always got beaten with good horses, so he's in with a good chance for me here.
Yeah, and he has proven himself over 990 as well. Yeah. So listen, it looks like one of those races you either take a chance and you bank Rule the Night in all your exotics, or you're going to have to load a couple because it's quite an interesting race. And this race has always proven to be quite an exciting race. So let's hope it will be an exciting race for tomorrow. Right, the 7th race, 1450, benchmark 31, and I've made no secrets that I really like this horse, Captain Gone Wild. He's still a colt, but I think he's a nice horse. I think he's a good horse. He's another son of Captain L. A lot of people are going to think, well, he's got the 10 draw, but I don't think that's too much of a problem for him. He's got a lot of speed, this horse, and in my opinion, this is a weaker field than he beat last time. I thought there was a cracking run by Inauguration. I rate Inauguration a bit, but in this particular field, he's by far the best horse in the race. I'm just worried about that draw, but I think that Pierre Stradum, once again, he places them well. He'll probably take him off to the front, and he's probably going to be too good for them.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. You're absolutely right. He's probably a little bit weaker than he won last time. So, and Pierre is good at the gate. He will get him. He will get them out. He will get him to settle. I think 1450 is better. It's a better distance for him, in my opinion. So I think I'm also going to say he looks like a strong horse to beat in that race. Yeah,
I think he's going to take quite a power beating. Who would be your sort of contenders, or your second and third best?
Well, it's difficult to say. It looks a bit open for the
for the rest of them,
second. I probably like Applejack as an outsider for a place here.
Okay.
He's not. His last 2 run wasn't that bad. He's also running. He's dropped classes now.
He's got the 2 draw. He's been
got
drawn
the
quite badly.
Yeah. So he's probably one of my selection here for place.
Okay. Tyrandius, Akash, they put the prick on him. I've never been a fan of the prick. I wish they would take it off, but obviously, the stable must know what they're doing. They put the prick on him because he did hang in quite badly on debut, but I don't think he enjoyed that pricker. Unfortunately, they got the pricker back on him again. But if you go back to his first run when he ran second to Good Buddy, he must have a chance here as well.
Yeah, definitely. But we expect him to run better in the second run, but he didn't.
Yeah, so a lot of these. I won't say a lot.
9.
But a second run syndrome is a worry.
Is an issue here.
He's had the 2 runs now.
Correct.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
So he should improve from that. So hopefully he'll go well here.
Okay, and then one other horse I want to talk about is obviously Zen Zero. I was a little bit sort of worried about the 1400 last time. He proved me wrong. He won a very good race. In fact, he won quite easily. And once again, he goes over the 1450. I think he must have a chance. It's not a strong race. Once again, I think Captain Gone Wilder. I'm going to bank him in all my exotic bets.
I'm with you.
Okay, then we move over to the 8th and final race. It's a 1500 meter rating 0.26, and I thought Carlton Heinz that was a cracking run on debut. He's from a 7 draw. He's now drawn 1. He's definitely made the improvement, the natural improvement that these sort of horses, especially the younger horses, make. And I think the extra 50 meters is going to suit him as well. I like that horse, Master of Spain, that he's run behind. I think he's going to go on and be quite a decent horse. So Carlton Heinz, if he reproduces that debut run, I think he's a big runner here. Mumbo, Manuel Nunes got it all together, got him all together last time, managed to win a nice race, beating Dark Liability. He rides him again, he's got a decent draw, you must respect him. And then one other horse who's quite a decent price is number 7, Street Bite. Another horse that's made a lot of improvement. If you have a look, in fact, he was only just over a length behind Carlton Heights last time. Unfortunately, he has got a poor draw, but he came from off the pace. This horse has made improvement as well, and judging from his South African form, he's going to the distance is going to be in his favour as well. Tough sort of race, the last one, like the first and last. Pick 8 players, be careful. Akash, if you were, I know you're not allowed to play a pick 8, but if you were, where would you go here?
Well, I think you've got to put like a 3-4 horses here. Carlton Height, he's a one, like you said, form behind Most of Spain. Most of Spain, I think, is a decent horse. I worked him. Yeah. He's quite a good horse, so yes. I would definitely say Carlton Hyde. And then I think if you like Carlton Hyde, you're gonna have to like 7th Rule. Yes, I think it's 7th Rule, the name.
7th Silver.
7th Silver. You've got to like him. He haven't done bad behind. He haven't run quite bad behind Carlton Heights. It's only a length difference. So
and also a good run behind Mr. Hardy on debut as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you have to include him as well with PS Striderman. Yeah. And then I've like a bit of outsider. I've popped a question. He looks good in the morning. I've seen him. Mm-hmm. And then Chester's Wish also is dropping a lot of class. I know he's carries 62 kilo, but when he's come down to those kind of classes, they run good, you know. Yeah,
I actually bought Chester's Wish for the owner, and I'm so glad he's done quite well. And I agree with what you say. When he gets down to like a 0.26, he's another horse that every time you put your money on, you know you're going to get a run for your money.
Correct. I think he's never been on 0.26.
Yeah, probably hasn't. He probably hasn't. So Chester's Wish. It looks like, we've just about mentioned almost it looks like it's going to be a tough race. Even Paddington's Luck, although he drops down to 50, I think he's looking for a lot further. But and a horse that I do agree with you, he's popped the question because he's run as high as 36. He's now in 0.26. So
yeah, it's a big difference.
Yep. End of the day, 8th race. If you are an exotic bet player, put as many as you can afford. There are a couple of bankers, in my opinion, early on the day. So pick 8 players or pick 6 players, even place accumulator players. You don't want to get to that last race and go out. So add a couple of in there, as it looks like it's going to be quite a tough race. Right, Akash, I'm going to put your head on a block. Give us your banker of the afternoon.
Well, I would give my banker Rule the Night.
Okay, Rule the Night. And you gave us a bit of a value bet. I don't know if you can remember what it was. I remember you mentioned and a horse that had a little bit of value. But anyway, I'll tell you what my bank is going to be. I think that I like Springman on his South African form.
Yeah, definitely. If you were to ask me to banker, I would have said that too. Yeah. But definitely, I'll say Rule the Night because he looks to be a public horse now.
And it's very right what you mentioned about that sort of holding the record with 61 kilos. And he's carrying a lot less weight this time. If he runs that time,
he shouldn't
win.
Lose.
Yeah. And then my value bet is Edit Trail. He's currently at 1,000 rupees or 9 to 1. I'm expecting a big run from this horse tomorrow. All right, well, that's a wrap. Thank you very much for joining us.
No
Let's hope you have a
problem,
great day tomorrow. I'd like
Thank
to
you.
see you in the winner's box a couple of times.
Hopefully, thank you.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of a, whenever someone comes and joins me, they ride a winner, so that's a good omen.
Yeah, it was good last time when I joined you. So,
with Captain
and you took
Spanisella,
the horse, so
yes,
let's
it was a
hope
great
carry
let's
on.
hope Akash brings us home a winner tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, Wednesday we've got Jour de Gala. We're going to talk about this meeting, find you a couple of winners, and we're looking forward to seeing you then. Goodbye. Thank you very much.